come and people go, but there are few who leave their immortal aura behind. Such personalities become inspiration to millions and billions. Our show brings about these eminent personalities who represent the very face of Bengaluru. Welcome to Face of Bangalore. This is Nisha. Today with us, we have an entrepreneur, judicious contributor, chairman and managing director of Silverline Realty. He is the first Indian to be the president of FIABCI, Mr. Farook Mahmood. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you, Nisha.
To begin with, you were born in an affluent Kachimunan family. You started your journey in real estate by diversifying your family's furniture house agency. What was that factor that fascinated you towards real estate?
Real estate is a field that fascinates everybody. It's the only true real business because it involves real property, real value, and real estate is not just a business for me, it's a passion, it's a hobby, and it's my life. I've been involved in it for over 3 decades now. I was first instrumental in founding the Bangalore Realtors Association, from where I graduated to starting the first Indian association, which is known as the National Association of Realtors, which I was its founder president. It's based in 35 cities across India and has over 30,000 members. By virtue of this, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Association of Realtors in the United States, which has over 1.2 million members. The terminology realtor is a trademark of the National Association of Realtors USA. Most people don't realize that, and they call anybody connected with real estate, whether it's a developer, a broker, or anybody who's involved in this field, as a realtor. But realtor, if you check, is a trademark of the National Association of Realtors. By virtue of this, National Association of Realtors had another organization which was known as ICREA, that was the international arm, known as ICREA, which was the International Consortium of Real Estate Associations, which is based out of Chicago and had over 1.2 million members. I served on its board, and then I was elected as its chairman and served on it as a chairman for a year. I got into FIABCI 17 years ago. FIABCI is a totally global organization which is based in 65 countries across the world, headquartered in Paris. I have always been associated with FIABCI, but I've been very closely involved in it for the past 7 years. I was elected as the Vice President of the World Council of Brokers. Then I got elected as the President of the World Council of Brokers. Then last year I got elected in Panama as the President-elect of FIABCI International as the World President. Currently, I have taken over its presidency in Andorra, and I'm its president till May of 2018, where I hand over my position in Dubai, which will end with a huge conclave and a convention there.
You began your journey as a realtor through Silverline Estate, and now it is globally known as Silverline Realty. How would you describe the journey of introducing real estate from your hometown, Bengaluru, from your homeland, India, to 65 countries of the world?
I owe my success to my city, Bangalore, and my city association, Bangalore Realtors Association, that gave me the opportunity of serving on this august body, from where we founded the National Association of Realtors, which I have just given you a background.
Yes.
I was elected in Panama as the face of India. The world saw India and Bangalore as the next best thing in the world. It was the year of China, and now it is the time of India, and this decade belongs to India. From that perspective, I would say that it's Bangalore and it's India that got me this position. I'm the first Indian to have been elected on this post.
Yes.
And
congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you very much, and I feel very honored, and I have this gratitude that if it wasn't for my city, I would not be where I am today, and I owe it all to my city and my country that is so dear to me. The world sees a lot of potential in India and its growth. If it wasn't for this, right now the world is in India with Fortune 500 companies based out of Bangalore, Hyderabad, Noida, Pune, Chennai, but bulk of these companies are based in Bangalore. And these companies are not here because they love the Bangalore weather or they like the masala dosa here or the chicken kebab. They're here because we have true value for money services that would cost 5 times overseas. We've got the best brains in the world here. We've got the best manpower here. We've got the best universities here who are churning out these engineers and these students, graduates who are bringing a lot of money and fame to our country. So it's a mix of all facts. I've been at the right place at the right time, and that's why I'm here, I guess.
Being the face of Bangalore to the world and being the Indian ambassador of real estate, how would you differentiate or compare Indian real estate market to that of the international?
Okay, our market lacks transparency, credibility, trust, which now will be a different story with the RERA came into force just yesterday in Bangalore. This is going to be a game changer. This is going to bring in transparency. This act is going to bring in credibility, accountability. The consumer will feel a lot more safer with RERA being in place. The developers will be more accountable. The industry will be more accountable. There are positives to it and there are negatives to it, and I'm not going to discuss this on this session today because that session itself can take an hour on what are the positives and negatives. But prima facie, I would say this is the best thing that's happened to the country, RERA. We've had the GST come in. This is again a positive thing. There are going to be a few hiccups initially, but I think over the long run, this will again be a game changer as far as the industry goes, or the construction industry goes.
There are a couple of questions that the realtors out there or the buyers out there. The first one would be, sales and deals are cancelled in seconds. How would you handle a no and terminate a yes?
Good question. I don't know the letter no. No from a perspective is somebody who doesn't understand what he's saying no to. I'm sure he or she, if it's explained why this is so, and if it's put in the right perspective, will never say a no to a real estate transaction. Real estate is something that is actually real. It's a roof over one's head. It may be a commercial investment to somebody. It may be a residential, it may be a mall, it may be a logistics center, it could be an information technology tech park, or it could be anything under the sun. That is what real estate is. It covers the entire gamut of all real estate. And from an investor's perspective, there is no one size that fits all. And an investor might want to invest 10 lakhs, somebody might want to invest 10 million, somebody might to invest 100 crores. So it's a question of size and what one's requirements are. But real estate is a requirement, whether it's an affordable home for 20 lakhs or an apartment for 2 crores. Everybody needs a home, and he or she would invest in it because this is the biggest stability in one's life, is owning a home. And this is a noble thing that the real estate profession does. You've got doctors who save lives, you've got advocates who help people in their crisis of in their crisis. Real estate people provide you a shelter and a roof over your head, which is from my perspective a very noble act. Incidentally, it happens to be a business, but that also happens to be a business of a doctor who's saving a life. So from that perspective, I would say it's one of the most noble businesses that we are doing. We are providing homes for the homeless, which is a major advantage which people see in what we're doing, the services that we provide, the kind of dedication we do it with. We don't get paid to just go and show a property. We don't get paid to define what a property is. We get paid after a transaction is completed and the client is satisfied with the services. So, like most service industries, real estate is also a service industry which provides service, but this is a different kind of a service. you have a bonding with the entire family, because taking a decision of buying a home is not something which is easy. It's a lifetime saving of a family. People, the father, the son, the husband, the entire family is involved in this decision making. Some talk about bedroom sizes, some talk about living room sizes, the wife talks about the kitchen, the husband talks about how far it is to my work, and from a logistic perspective.
And the kids talk about the play area.
Absolutely. So from that perspective, it involves each and every member of the family who become very close to the real estate person who's involved in this transaction, and there is a bond formed. And I can tell you, over 3 decades that I've been in business, I've just been invited to a 50th anniversary of a client who at that point of time was a client and today is a dear friend. And his anniversary is in Mumbai on the 8th of September. And he's invited us and the entire family to be with him during his celebration of his 50th year. I know his daughter when she was 3 years old and his son when he was 7. So we've grown together. We've built a relationship of trust, a relationship and a bonding which is hard to compare on any monetary transaction wise, but it's a great bonding, a great friendship that has nurtured over the period of years. So real estate people are people who make relationships for lifetime.
Talking about investors, should investors buy property and wait, or wait and buy property? What would you suggest?
I would suggest the latter.
Buy property and wait?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There might be a difference in perspective of how you would look at it.
Okay.
But why I say that is, if you buy property, it's not just for yourself. It's for your generations to come.
Yes.
Maybe your kids, maybe your entire family would get to enjoy it. Today you've bought it for X. 5 years down the time it's 3 times X. Which kind of a return on investment, which kind of business would give you this kind of a return? You wouldn't look at it from a business perspective because this is a home over your head.
Investors, should they think about the cost or should they think about the value when they're buying a property?
The value.
The value?
It's the value proposition which is the most important thing. And at the end of the day, it's value for money that changes the entire concept of buying property. Buying property is not just about buying a piece of land or an apartment or an office. It's buying real estate which is always appreciating. And this is something that in any global perspective, if you really look at it, real estate decisions are the most toughest decisions for a person, an individual to make. And these decisions take time. People don't come overnight and you buy an iPhone and you swipe your card or you do it. But these decisions take time. It involves a lot of money. It involves so many factors, and there's a major trust factor which is there. And investors have to look at it from a return on investment point of view. What is the appreciation? What is the ROI? What is the cap rate? How much do I make at the end of the day? So all factors put together, real estate is the best investment that one can choose to invest in at any point of time. And people ask me, when is the right time to buy? I always say today is cheaper than tomorrow, because take the cost of construction, shooting up. Cost of fuel, shooting up. Cost of raw material, shooting up. So there's nothing that's going to come down for your real estate prices to come down. Don't be a fence setter. Go and buy the property that you've been wanting to buy today. And that's the silver lining in the cloud that you've been looking for.
It's your channel.
India is opening doors to global investment, and you as the president of FIABCI, how would you add or propose value additions to the Indian industry?
Well, the Indian economy is one of the highest growing economies in the world. I think we've beaten the Chinese, or we're close to them with our GDP this year. The Indian real estate market is one of the best in the world. We have a positive growth pattern. We have products which are comparable to world standards. We have our negatives on the infrastructure side, but with infrastructure status given to the industry this year, I think a decade from now we will be on par with the globe. Investors are looking at India as the next opportunity to invest in. There's a lot of foreign direct investment flowing into the country. And one of the reasons FIABCI is involved in global business is investors, developers, brokers, managers, experts, all four verticals come under FIABCI. And FIABCI members from across the world network to do business, and these members and their associates look at potential in different countries across the world to come explore, see the opportunities of doing business. We have an event happening in September in Bangalore. It's Bengaluru, a global investment destination. We will have lots of investors and real estate people from across the world who would come and explore the markets here, see the positives of this market, go back to their countries, talk to their investors, talk to the banks, the fund houses, make up their minds and invest this money. This has been going on, and a lot of foreign direct investment has been flowing into the country because of FIABCI. Me as an ambassador of goodwill, I have been a conduit in a small way in playing my little role in doing this bit, and I'm sure this will go a long way in the future of building the Indian economy and building the Indian real estate business, which will help the coolie down the street right up to the CEO, and it will bring prosperity to all. And that's my vision, to see our people prosper and do well for themselves in whichever sphere and whichever part of the industry that they are in.
We wish you all the success for the vision you have for the future, sir. Our viewers are very keen to know about your personal life. So let's sneak a little into that. What does Mr. Farook do if he's away from business? What do you do? No sizes, no land, no talks about land. What do you do apart from that?
I'm just a common guy on the street like anybody else. I do what everybody does.
Any hobbies as such? That
Well, I have hobbies, and I play golf. That's whenever I get the time to. I swim whenever I get the time to, and I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren. And that's what my life is all about right now. And I love them, and my family means a lot to me. I have a father who's 96 years old.
Oh.
And I have 6 grandchildren. The youngest is 9 months old. So we have a varied family, and to me, family is the most important conduit in my life, and everything else is secondary.
Having served multiple roles in various organizations, how are you able to fulfill the role of a family man? How do you give time to your family? Because you've been traveling always. How do you give time to your wife, your sons, your grandchildren? How do you make time in your busy schedule?
It's a balancing act, and one has to do the somersault every time. I think my family understands that this year is important to me, and they've been very supportive of me and very understanding of my travels. I have neglected my family for the past 1 year by contributing most of my time to the organization FIABCI and works related to this. And my family understands that this is a passion, and I enjoy this, and I want to do this. So I have the support of my parents, my wife, my children, and my grandchildren are the apples of my eyes.
They're going to continue the legacy of Silverline Realty?
Well, it's too early to say, but yes, that is my wish. So I'm sure that the right time, the right things will happen. I believe in destiny, and I believe that God has a role to play. Each one individual is just there to play his part. And I am a firm believer of destiny, and I believe that if God has something for you in mind and a role for you, you will really, if you work towards it, you will really fulfill it.
We know you as the Indian ambassador promoting real estate. If not real estate, what would you be today? If you wouldn't be a realtor, what would you be today?
I can't imagine myself being anything else than what I am right now. So from that perspective, if I had to live another life, I'd live a life of a person connected with real estate. We're involved in all spheres of real estate. We're involved in property marketing, broking, sales, development, investments. So we cover all the services of real estate, and that gives me a truly great feeling that we've been able to achieve whatever little we can, but we've been able to do whatever God has been kind to us.
So real estate is a sector that is inseparable from you, sir. We can put it forward
Absolutely.
like that.
I think real estate, I breathe real estate, I drink real estate, I eat real estate, and I live real estate.
Lastly, what would be your advice to the professionals out there who are looking up to real estate as a career?
I would say it's one of the best and most interesting careers in the world. You tend to meet new people, which is an interesting aspect of one's life. You tend to do new things every day. You tend to learn a lot from different people across the world, different people. Each individual, there's no individual who's the same, and there's no two experiences which are the same. And I would say it's also a very remunerative business to be in. I would recommend professionals from across our country to take real estate as a profession. It's very fulfilling, very satisfying, and it's a career that will help you make a lot of money and go a long way in life. And any professional who feels that he needs job satisfaction, I think this is one industry that can give you tremendous job satisfaction. I've been in this business for over 3 decades now, and I haven't found a single day which has been uninteresting or boring. So I would say that there are challenges like all businesses, like all professions, but at the end of the day you have a feeling of satisfaction, a feeling of achieving and having done something in your life. And opportunity is something that knocks at one's door, and if one
Refuses it.
knocks it down, I would say if you knock opportunity down, if it knocks at your door, then
There is no another chance.
there's always another chance, and that chance real estate gives you, because you knock at another door every time to do business. So I would say look at real estate as a career, and you will not be disappointed.
With your proven track record of achievements as an entrepreneur and socially responsible citizen, your contribution to the real estate fraternity and the humanitarian activities are tremendous. Thank you so much for being with us, sir, and making time in your busy schedule. YTV wishes you all the success in your future plans and visionary that you have for the world, for India and Namma Bengaluru. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
So that was Mr. Farook. We will be back with another personality that would represent the face of Bengaluru. This is Nisha signing off. You're watching YTV.
It's your channel.